from outside of Daniel, from other areas. And this could have been planned, I think, a few years ago and maybe put in a better place. But it is what it is. I'd also like to point out that now the school district owns actually 4 parcels in the town of Daniel, which means they are tax exempt, so we're not getting any revenue at all from those parcels. And I hope that they'll release, the 2 on 3000 South pretty soon. Okay.
Mary, you stated something that I had not thought about before, and that was the construction of the school and all the heavy truck and stuff going on down that road. Has anybody else thought about that line?
I can speak to that. I read the plans. The plans have in the notes, construction notes, it says they won't access it by this road. So the general contractor will be in charge of doing that, but he's actually in violation of his bid contract if he uses that for access.
Well, we should think about how we would enforce that, because I can see that happening a lot. And I went back and looked at our own old priority plan for replacing the roads. And back when we did that in 2006, I think it was $137,000 to road and mill and replace that section. So we want to think about that for sure.
Yeah. And Francis Harrison, who will be over this building, he said he will help police that also.
That'd be awesome.
So he'll be on site.
But I do think we could put some signage up, don't you think? I mean, you say we can because we, like I said, want to see more roads. But I think we could put signage up that say that no school access on this.
You may be able to do no construction access, but I don't think you can put up.
Well,
school
but
access.
if there's no gate, if there's no access, I think you could say that. I don't know, that's just, we'll have to look into that one too.
You, Eric, oh, sorry, go ahead, Mike.
You can put that sign up, but you can't enforce it.
Thank
If you
you.
build it, they will come.
Well, Larry the Border Collie, you've had your run-ins with Larry the Border.
Well, anyone can go down that road, but can they actually access them?
Question for Mary Mike. I think some of us have talked to Superintendent Shoemaker, and it's my understanding from early on last year, we've never seen it in writing, but I think we've all agreed that there will be no construction traffic down that road. Now, they've done some, I don't know what it is, some fence layout and so forth, and right now they access it. It's very limited. It's not giving anybody any heartburn. But don't we have an agreement that there will be no construction access?
Well, that is in the bid document, so until it goes out for bid, that statement hasn't been, no general contractor has signed on to that yet. So that's in the blueprint, so I think it's going out for bid pretty soon, isn't it?
Oh, we were under the standing, that was an agreement.
It's already been awarded.
So the bid's
It's already
been
been awarded,
okay.
everything. I listened
So
to
the
that.
general contractor will be able to start enforcing that through his.
Oh, one other thing, do you remember that big wind that we had a few weeks ago? The wheel line is still in place out on that property, and we were lucky that it didn't take off. I think the sign, those posts pretty much held it back, but we could have been looking at some really bad situation if that road didn't take it off across the road. So somebody should be keeping an eye on that. I don't know when that wheel line is.
Part of it was moved last weekend.
Okay, so that's good.
So, Eric, who makes the decision, no construction traffic?
The school district does, it's in their bid documents.
Okay.
And it is in the bid document.
Is there anybody here that wants the gate? One?
Javon, I don't know if I can get on. I am not, I'm speaking for Shelley, not for Eric. Okay? Surprise! I've talked to people down around our neighborhood. Now, we're the farthest from you. We built in Daniels, well, we lived in Daniels, we've lived here a long time. We came here because of quiet. And no matter how much we've fought it, I now have asphalt plant. I now have the Wasatch County. I don't have peace. I have lights constantly. I have noise constantly. But and then, well, maybe everybody will get their hope and the airport will come and take us out like they're supposed to. But my thing is, and I've talked to some people up on our end, we have a school in Daniels. Why can't we access this school in Daniels? Our kids are going to this school. I know there's other kids going, but guess what? They're kids. We pay property taxes, and this is not, you guys keep talking about a private thing. Isn't this a Daniel Road? This is a Daniel Road. So why doesn't the citizens of Daniel have the right to go down that road? To drop their children off? Why does the Daniel citizens have to go clear around into the Heber side to take their kids to school? Now, I'm like Dan. I'm old. I have grandchildren. I watch 12 grandchildren every day after I get done at the school district. But just because I work for the school district doesn't mean I'm in with the school district. I'm saying for my children, I would want to be able to access a school in Daniels on the Daniel side. It's not a private road. 3000 South was very quiet. Well, it's not anymore. So why can't Daniel citizens, and like I said, I've talked to people down on our end, and they're saying the same thing. Why can't we get access to Daniels through, why do we have to go clear through Heber? That's a good question, because these 13 citizens don't want Daniel citizens down on their property.
No, that's not true. I mean, that's, I
Good,
don't,
good question.
it is though, but I don't think that it has anything to do with Daniel. They're building hundreds of homes right here that are part of Heber.
Right,
Those are-
but
it's
why
not
can't
that-
they walk there too? They will.
Because it's fenced off. Those are all private properties bordering that.
But
They're
aren't
not
these homes going to be in the private property?
The homes that are over here in Heber, they're
Yeah,
building hundreds of homes in the Heber estates.
okay.
That's the traffic that we're worried about. We're not worried about the Daniel traffic and the handful of kids there.
But that's the thing, you can't
Well,
Right.
discriminate who you're keeping
Yeah, you
out.
can't.
well,
You can't do it. You can't just say this is just for Daniel citizens. You're saying we do not want this because we don't want anybody coming down our road, Daniel
Yeah.
or Heber City.
Yeah.
So we're just saying, like I said, I put out comments, we've had comments responded to us, but it was a terrible time for a public hearing. But as I got told, that's true. It was a terrible time. Eric said we should have just shut off power, shut off gas, and shut off water, and all took the week off, and let the citizens realize town still goes on. But, because the ones that I talk to that want this so they can get their children down there, that live in Daniels, that live up on our end, they're all gone. But they have commented, they told us they'd get us papers saying that. But I'm just saying, this is a school in Daniels. And I don't understand why we have to have all Heber, sure, we may not have wanted it, but our kids are all going there. And like Dan says, our kids and grandkids and grandkids and grandkids are all going to be going here. And you know what? There's a lot of things I didn't want, and I'm stuck with them. And I'm not saying you guys have the right to have quality of life too, but we do too.
I'm one of those things she's stuck with, she didn't
Yeah,
want.
exactly.
Sorry about that.
So I just,
We feel your pain there.
no, I wouldn't trade him, but like I said, this is coming from me. I don't know what his feelings are on this, but this is coming from me and citizens around us, around 3000 South, up at that end. Like I said, we're the furthest ones, but we as citizens of Daniels don't understand why we can't access a Daniels school that's built in Daniels and instead have to go around to the Heber side to get to Daniels.
Well, you are actually going to be annexing the school from Daniel. The road that goes up that enters the school is this side of the airport, right? So it is Daniel until you get the right-hand turn, am I correct? To go into the school.
This road out here is Heber City.
That's correct.
But, I mean,
It's just as close.
what's the difference there? 100 yards? 100 yards, it's been here for a lot of years. And that community that has an access point that you mentioned security, you mentioned access and consistency, right? You don't want to set off and say, so and so many people who come around from this side. So and so many people who come around from this side. What you want is a very definite access, very safe access, and not have multiple accesses.
We have
depending on
multiple
where you
accesses
maybe
at other
live.
schools.
Actually,
Heber Valley
that's
has,
not really true though.
Heber Valley has multiple accesses.
98% of these people are coming from people, right? You know that. Okay. So.
Well,
let's
I
make a
just know
very
that
safe-
Daniel citizens
very
down
safe
on this
entrance
end would
that
like,
comes in consistently from one area. And then we have safety, as people have mentioned, and consistency versus when you come from this side, you come from that side because you live over here, you live over there.
Yeah, I just know that I've talked to several, and that's what they, you know, like I said, this is public hearing. You guys can take it or leave it, but that's what
Yeah.
this part would want. It's not all, because it's not just affecting you guys. This school is not just affecting you. It is affecting the whole town.
It will.
I think this is getting out of hand, this is something like I would do, and this isn't right. I get very emotional, I get all wound up, and I just spiel out everything. I think we're supposed to make our statements and not challenge each other.
I think we should discuss. I don't think it's out of hand personally. I think that she has every right to say things, and I'm perfectly
And then
respectful.
she has every right to say anything, and then you're shooting questions right back at her, you're trying to shoot her down. That's not what this is about. That's the way I work, that's the way I do things, that's not right.
So he's saying, just let her have her say and everybody else stay quiet. And when she sits down, somebody else talk, but don't be.
That's
So-
what a
so-
public
so
hearing's
should
for,
we-
is to
should
be
we
able to say it and then
discuss
move
back
on.
and forth? But I completely disagree, because I think part of open dialogue is.
Well, and that works fine, but when you start getting this,
Okay.
then that doesn't work, as you can see.
Well, just for the record, I'm completely
So-
respectful of her opinion. I don't judge a person like that. That would be a poor quality on anybody's part. So I do think it's, what I'm thinking to ask here is just a couple things that might answer some things she posed. One is, my son is not in two towns, he's in Harriman. But he lives here, and he has to go around there to get to the school. That's one question that comes up. And the other thing, and we know it's not a private road, Barbara mentioned that in her letter, but we know it's not a private road. The other thing is, it's actually closer for these folks, you guys down where you're at, to drive to the front of the school than it is to come to the back.
But it might be unless there's a traffic jam on that road.
Exactly. That's what we're trying. Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
But
do
great
you
point.
want to step up here and make a statement? You're good? Okay. Is there anybody else that wants to come up and make a statement?